So the other day I went to the most miserable place on the face of the earth. Maybe second most miserable, next to a room that might be filled with 1,000 dead whale carcasses, all rotting and stinking, and then just hundreds of starving children trying to eat the dead whale carcasses. That seems a little more miserable. I'm talking about the mall. The mall is like a zoo. If you walk around the mall and look into the stores, all the employees look like sad zoo animals that are sitting in the wrong habitat. It's like they took a lion and then they put it into an Antarctic situation, and he just kind of sits there all miserable looking at the people walking by. I have so many reasons to hate going to the mall, and I'm gonna share with you 5 of them. The first reason being the horrible, awful music they always play. They play shit in there that not even my dad would know what it is. This is the whitest noise I have ever heard. What is going on? They play it so quietly and so softly that you can't really tell that it's even music. For all I know, it could be a child with a microphone in a hallway singing to itself, which is terrifying. What is that? That sounds like AC/DC, but I can't tell if it's AC/DC, which is weird because I've never had the situation where you can't tell if something's AC/DC or not. It's just like there's a horrible white noise that's keeping everybody just docile and subdued. I think what they need to do is just randomly switch it up to crazy ghetto rap music and a like ceremonial gong. I think if they did that, there would be a riot. And everybody in the Cinnabon line just starts throwing down. The next worst thing about the mall is definitely the fact that it's always crowded with people who look like they're going nowhere in particular. They all look like they've got a place to be, but they're not going there. And don't even get me started when there's a thing going on. When there's a thing, people go nuts for it. Like they'll all crowd around one specific store in the mall because there's a new thing that they can get. And then that gets in my way because I gotta walk past that shit. And some of them will even bring their goddamn babies to the mall and put them on a leash. That kid starts running around and that leash becomes a tripwire to a booby trap of hilarity. There are some days when I wish I could just step on that leash and send that kid flying. And then there's the food court. You know why they call it the food court? Because when you go there to get your food, people judge you. People will walk by, see what you're eating, and then make an assessment of you based on your plate. It's the worst thing knowing a man's ready to die. When he's eating that new thing from KFC with the 3 chicken patties, it's over. It's the people who are selling the food at the food court judging you going to other places. They just stand there behind the counter with their judgmental eyes, watching you go to the better food place. It's too much pressure and I can't handle it. Stop judging me, I don't like your kebab. What? I don't think you should be able to sell me a falafel kebab if you can't pronounce falafel kebab. Hey, why don't you come over here and get some of my falafel kebab? Yeah, you want some? It's only some money. It's half the money it usually is. It's 'cause it's twice as old as it usually is. Kebab, kebaba, kebababa. Has my fly been down this entire video? Not to mention all the cool hip clothing stores that secretly double as nightclubs. There is one store in that cocksucking mall that I can't tell if it's a jungle themed nightclub or a place to go buy bras. It doesn't make sense. Excuse me, do you guys have shirts here or like can I just get like a shot or something? The music's really loud, they're not really paying attention, and for some reason the surface of everything is kind of wet. If I could just put the shirt on my body to see if it doesn't show my boobs off, that would be great. It gets to the point where it's just, fuck it, I'm stealing. When you walk in there, you can't tell who's an employee and who's just looking to buy a shirt. I bet you could walk in there and start managing the place as if it was a nightclub. Nobody's going to oppose because nobody knows who works there or not. I came in here for a shirt, but now shots are $5. I need to see some IDs. Let's go. And the worst thing of all, I'm not saying that everybody does this, but eventually you'll see it and it's really sad. It's the guy who is carrying stuff for his girlfriend and essentially just becomes the world's saddest coat rack. And you'll sometimes see these guys following a girl around like a distressed butler struggling to hold a load in his arms. He'll be like an old horse trying to pull a carriage. I'm not saying that all girls do this, but a lot of them do. And whenever I see this in the mall, it's like when I'm watching something on TV and then all of a sudden that abused puppy commercial comes on where all the puppies look real sad and they're in the cages and there's like cats who look wet but are probably not wet. And they play that song. In the arms of an angel. That's the one. That's what that's like to me. I feel like I have to call a number and donate money to get these guys their balls back. And I'm allowed to talk about this because I said so. And that's why I don't like Going to the Mall by MattG. You could pick the audio book up on book.com/.jpeg/org. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click a thumb button and send it to a friend, and make sure that friend doesn't get diarrhea. Be a good friend. I put out new videos every Tuesday and Friday, so subscribe, because it only gets worse from here. Oh, you know, just getting a little tipsy and writing a fan fiction. That's my Monday afternoon. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Alright, so that's on my face.